2 million Canadians had to use the food bank in 1 month alone. This is a direct result of Liberals and Conservatives who continue to search and distract from what's going on, when the real reason of what's causing this, Canadians know really well. When they were asked the question, greedy CEOs. Now, why won't the Prime Minister understand what Canadians already do?
Le très honorable Premier ministre.
Mr. Speaker, we understand and we see firsthand how Canadians are struggling with the cost of food, groceries and housing. That's why we're taking concrete actions to support them through this, whether it be with the grocery rebate, whether it be with $10 a day childcare, whether it be with a dental care that's going to support young children, whether it be the initiatives we're taking across this country to create good jobs and economic growth, whether it be with the GST rebate checks, whether it be with the climate action rebate that's putting money in people's pockets right across the country. We're going to continue to be there for Canadians, as we had in years past, as we lifted hundreds of thousands of kids out of poverty, as we've lifted over 1 million Canadians out of poverty. We know there's more work to do, and we are going to continue to do it, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member from Burnaby South.
While Liberals and Conservatives continue to distract, Canadians know corporate greed is driving up the cost of food.
That's right.
2 millions de Canadiens visitent les banques.
2 million Canadians visit food banks, whilst profits of large grocery stores were close to $4 billion. When the Conservatives and Liberals have a choice, they always choose CEOs over Canadians. So the NDP forced them to come back before the committee to answer the questions they refused to ask. Will the Prime Minister admit that his government's approach is a total failure? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, our objective is to make life more affordable and to make sure that companies pay their just part. The Minister for Innovation met CEOs from large grocery chains as well as producers, local and international food producers, so that we can highlight the necessity in making groceries more affordable. I hope that all members will join us so that we can adopt a Housing Act and Affordable Grocery Act as rapidly as possible in order to improve competitivity in the field.
Leader of the Opposition.
It's like a parallel universe every time the NDP leader stands up and attacks the very government he's a part of and laments how miserable life is for Canadians after 2 years of him being part of voting for quadrupling the carbon tax, driving up inflationary deficits, and, of course, driving 2 million people to the food banks in a single month. He blames greed for all this hunger. He's right. It is the greed of Liberal and NDP politicians who keep taking more and more from Canadians. Will they reverse these disastrous policies?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
All of us in this House see how Canadians are struggling. We just have different responses to it. The Conservative Party is proposing cuts to government services, cuts to investments that are going to support seniors, cuts to investments that are going to support families, whether it's dental care or child care. The Conservative Party thinks you can cut your way to prosperity, when the reality is, Mr. Speaker, our investments in child care, in dental care, in supports for seniors, in supports for students have actually helped Canadians through some difficult times and will continue to be there for them into the coming years.
L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
Being there for Canadians, he's taking money out of their pockets. And if you don't believe me, listen to the Governor of the Bank of Canada, who said, and I quote, "Today, government spending will be adding to demand more than supply is growing. And in an environment where we are trying to moderate spending and get inflation down, that is not helpful." That adds to the voices of the former Liberal Finance Minister John Manley, who accused this Prime Minister of pressing on the inflationary gas pedal. Will the Prime Minister tell us, does he agree with the bank governor that his government spending is not helpful on inflation?
Le très honorable Premier ministre,
Mr. Speaker, Canadians know we need support and we need more supply on the housing crisis, and that's why we are there investing with municipalities to deliver more housing. In Brampton, our housing agreement will spur the construction of more than 24,000 homes over the next decade. That's an investment that the Leader of the Opposition would cut. In other cities like Richmond Hill, Moncton, and Ajax just this week are passing more ambitious housing plans at their local councils in response to the federal housing accelerator. While the Leader of the Opposition would rip up these agreements, we're focused on building solutions that'll work for communities right across the country.